Hey everybody, let's go for a take 3 on this. Jesus Christ, I got my trusty notes here. Mike, no movies for you. Got my little Pepsi Zero Sugar, little sippage here. Get my voice going again. Boy, I wasted 30 minutes right now, and this is my third take. Before we move on, I want to talk to you guys about something. If you're into fishing, if you're a fisherman, an outdoorsman, whatever you do it just to pass time, just to relax. Go check out my friends at Sprue Rods. Find them on Facebook, the Facebook page, Sprue Rods at Facebook. Check them out; they're good people. Tell them I sent you. I will be buying one soon. I'm going to read off some names and dates, and I want you guys to tell me. Let me get my mic here going. Start straighten up so I get my sound right. I'm going to give you some names and dates, and I want you to tell me what all of these people have in common. Okay? Trayvon Martin, 2012. Mike Brown, 2014. Eric Garner, 2014. Tamir Rice, 2014. See, got my notes. Yes. Oh, geez. Sandra Bland, 2015. Freddie Gray, 2015. What do these people have in common, folks? Tell me. It's not what you think it is. You think you're so smart. Tell me what they have in common. Raise your right hand, please. Raise. Okay. Let me tell you what they have in common. All happened while Biden was vice president and while Barack Obama was president. Why didn't you riot then? Why didn't you do something then? Oh, I know why. Democrats were in office. That's why you didn't do anything. But anything you can do to make Trump look bad, you're making yourselves look bad. Racism is terrible. I'm finding a lot of you rioters out there, all of those of you who participated in the riots, to be racist. Now you're saying, well, those white folks out there too. Yeah, they were. What were you doing with them? If they were doing so bad, what were you doing with them? You're just as complicit as they are for racism against your own people. You burnt down black businesses. You assaulted black people along with white. You committed crimes. What is this doing? What message are you trying to send? You know, you're trying to sit there and tell me, well, black rage is this, black rage is that. We need to send a message to white people. What message are you fucking sending? None of you know what the message is, other than the fact that you get to go and go crazy out here, burn down places, loot stores, get free shit. The news today, this may be the last one I do. This may be the last broadcast I do for a little while. The entire 2020 has been bullshit. Bad news continuously. More and more bullshit going on. The trumped up, yes, I said trumped up, charges against Donald Trump by the Democrats based on a phony dossier bought by Hillary Clinton. The FBI being complicit with it, not charging her for the crime she's committed. I'm hearing all this shit and everything. Well, she's being charged. When? Where is she being charged? All we got is lip service. And then the COVID-19 and all the bullshit that went on with that. And now the riots. And all the politicians deciding they're going to cave in and make policy based on signs people are holding during the protests. I want to grab my head and yell, "This stupid, it burns." I can't deal with it anymore. I want to throw my hands in the air and just say, fuck it, I'm through. I'm done. I need to take a break from this. And when this is over with. You know, you guys want to talk about how Black Lives Matter. You know, everybody's lives matter. But I'm a racist for saying that. Because it doesn't fit a narrative. You know, I'm supposed to be racist because I'm white. I'm racist because I have long hair. I'm racist because I do this. I'm racist because I do that. I'm racist because I don't watch Spike Lee movies. Call me racist all you want to. You know, this one stupid bitch wrote a book called White Fragility. She heard the word used, the two words used in somebody said it, so she decided to name her stupid book White Fragility. She says in the book, and said in an interview quoting her book, that if I say I'm not racist, I'm an uber racist, what goes through these people's minds? Do they even have minds? Very doubtful. They're wanting to get rid of the police. They're wanting to defund police departments. They want to get rid of the cops until they can start a people's such a what's it, whatever, and everything. So in other words, they want to get rid of cops until they can hire cops, I think. I'm not for sure what they're thinking. These are people who don't think more than 5 minutes in the future. Right now, the mayor of Minneapolis got thrown out of a rally because he wouldn't agree to totally swear to defund the Minneapolis Police Department, which there are several cops who quit. They've walked away. They got tired of the bullshit. We defund the police department. Somebody breaks in your home. What do you do? Call a social worker to cry on their shoulder? No. No. I'm called racist because back in 2012, Martin Luther King Day, 2013, 14. It's hard to remember. There's so much bullshit that's gone on here lately. Is Martin Luther King Day 2014. Excuse me, I hope that's Corona because I want to spread it around to stupid people. That's humor. Laugh. My condominium was broken into by 2 black men and a white guy. I was told when we pressed charges that I was a racist. I was told I was being racist because if it were white people who broke in, all white people, I wouldn't have pressed charges. That is a very fucked up assumption. Believe me. But everybody, the whole thing about Black Lives Matter, I'm going to say right here, right now, and call me racist all you want to. I don't give a shit anymore. Everybody's lives matter. Black people, white people, yellow people, brown people, police, civilians. Human fucking beings' lives matter. So stop polarizing this shit and start caring about everybody, damn it. The whole fact that Black Lives Matter only caters to black people is racist. That's very racist. I don't care what you say. That's not just opinion. That's fact. Now, I'm not saying here trashing black people. I'm going to let you know that. There are some black people out there that support BLM without knowing the whole story behind them. I'm glad they support something. I'm glad they're protesting. I want people to protest. I want people to stand up and say, hey, there's something wrong. Let's fix it. But you best know what you're fixing first. Yeah, I'm a little pissed off. Cops, whites, and blacks have suffered in these riots. Cops have died. They've been shot. White people have been shot and killed. Black businesses have been burned to the ground, and you say BLM that you're all for Black lives, but you destroy black businesses. These people saved up their lives for years to get. Their life savings were involved in these businesses, and now they don't have these businesses anymore. In Minneapolis, Walmart won't go in there. Walmart wants to leave Minneapolis altogether. There are businesses right now pulling up stakes in these cities that you've rioted in, people, and you're hurting the community. But you don't care as long as you get to go and act like idiots and loot shit, get free stuff, and burn things to the ground, and get the police to hate your guts even more. I was told the other day that my color is not doesn't make me dangerous. No, it doesn't. I will agree with you wholeheartedly on that. Color means nothing to me. But according to white fragility, that means I'm a racist because I said that. I try to lead by example. Color means jack shit to me. I don't care. But it seems that your actions and your attitudes are what the danger is, not your color. So I want you to think about that. I've had black people tell me, well, I've had old ladies hold their purses close to themselves when I pass by them on the street. I'm white and I've had that happen to me. It seems you got long hair and tattoos. Yes, I've got quite a few tattoos. People get scared of you. I've been called an ex-con. I've been called a biker. I've been referred to as a drug dealer in a black neighborhood only because I had tattoos and I'm white. It's really, really wonderful thing to be judged by the color of your skin. You're not the only ones. I've been judged by the color of my skin several times, and so have a lot of other white people. I've seen a lot of white people have it just as bad as you. I've seen a lot of white people on the streets because they're homeless, because they can't get a job due to affirmative action, where white people can't be hired. They have to have a certain amount of non-Caucasians working for them. Now you tell me how racist this rant is. I don't give a rat's ass. Calling it down the middle. I'm calling. I'm telling the truth, and I'm about to call out somebody here. You know, this is going to be thrown off. I know for a fact. But until then, maybe some of you will get to see this and listen. You know, I've already spoken in past videos about Antifa and how worthless they are and what they do. I've talked about the past 2 years. April makes 2 years. Made 2 years. I'm in my third year of doing this now. I've already spoken about Antifa several times over the past over 2 years. But I've never once said anything about BLM till now. I found out some things, and I'm not happy with them. And any of you out there that are for BLM, if Black Lives Matter, if you're for them, hey, that's on you, man. I'm not going to trash you. You get to make your own choices. I'm not here making choices for you. But let's, I want to talk about the other side of the riots, not just Antifa. I want to talk about BLM. Let's talk about their founder. Their founder, Alicia Garza. I'll make sure I got my notes straight here. Is a self-described queer. That's her words, not mine. She calls herself that. She's a transitioning feminist and a Marxist whose mother is black and father is Jewish. We're going to get into that in a second. Alicia is married to a transgender woman, a Malachi Garza. The entire core of who she is opposes black men. Well, actually, men of any color, period. If they have no value to her except to profit from the suffering. She cares. She's like, just like Jesse Jackson, just like Al Sharpton. They don't give a rat's ass about you. All they're worried about is making money. There's plenty of videos out there, that were taken of Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton making promises and then trying to leave when some black man wants to talk to them about a problem. They've got to leave. They got to leave real fast. He's got another thing to go to make some more money, get some more donations. He doesn't care about you people. Al Sharpton is one of the most racist human beings I've ever met in my life. This whole bullshit that black people can't be racist, you proved yourselves wrong during the riots. You proved yourselves wrong. This whole thing since the riots started for the past couple of weeks, you proved yourselves wrong. Patrisse Cullors, also a lesbian feminist activist, married to a gay activist, Janaya Khan, who classifies herself as they, i.e. non-gender conforming. I really like all the pronouns that these people use. They, zir, zahir, sometimes bun. Quit making up stupid shit, people. You got a penis, you're a guy. You got a vagina, you're a girl. Get over it. I don't care what you think. Little fringe element, God. Now, Patrisse incorporates rituals of Ifa divination. That's similar to voodoo, folks. Look it up. She incorporates that in her political protest events. That in itself scares me. That concerns me. That should concern everybody. Now, the parents of Alicia Garza are hidden from public eye. The media doesn't tell you who they are. They try to keep she tries to keep her parents kind of locked down, away from everybody, which I kind of agree with, except I found out that her father is Jewish. Every black person should know the history of Jewish exploitation of blacks for personal profit. You guys should pay attention to this. Okay? The deception behind Black Lives Matter is simply the continued profiting of exploitation of black people. That's it. What have they done for you other than stage protests and riots and cause all kinds of stuff? Excuse me, I need a little sippage here. I'm a little, yeah. Now, that's stuff the media doesn't tell you. Here's something else the media has not informed you about. The media will not tell you this. They also didn't tell you George Floyd's history. Fortunately, I know people in law enforcement. I can find out things. is turning into there's not much I can't find out. Let's talk about George Floyd's history, okay? In 1998, 10 months in prison for armed robbery. 2002, 8 months for cocaine. 2004, 10 months for cocaine. My God, 2005, another 10 months for cocaine. 2007, 5 years for armed robbery of a pregnant woman in her home. That's home invasion. When he was murdered, he was high on meth and fentanyl and in possession of methamphetamines. Now, I'm not saying that he should have been murdered. The fact he was murdered was very sick. It was done by a very sick-minded individual. It was done by somebody who knew him personally. It was done by just a random cop. Him and Chauvin knew each other. Chauvin had a beef with him from a civilian side job he had at the Rancho Nuevo, or Nueva, whatever, club that he and Floyd both were at. Well, actually, Chauvin was security there, and I believe Floyd had gone there quite a few times. And according to employees, they knew each other. Floyd evidently did something. Chauvin didn't like it. Chauvin bided his time, found him on the street, found him, and killed him. Now Chauvin sat there and tried to plea out, tried to get a third-degree murder charge, tried to plead out before he could sign his name on the paperwork. Evidence came in. Chauvin is now being prosecuted for first-degree murder. I was hoping he got the death sentence. I really did. Now, you guys are talking about how the cops and all this, cops are all involved, cops are this, cops are that. I know a lot of cops. I know a lot of black cops also. A lot of them are really damn good people. They put their lives on the line daily for very low pay. They don't know if they're going home at night sometimes to protect your ass. But, like every other group of people, every group, there's a lot of good people and a handful of bad ones. And the bad ones make everybody look bad. So, before you defund the police departments, I want to defund the police departments, think for a few minutes. Who's using you to do this? Who's using you to want to defund the police departments? Politicians. I'm calling out every congressperson there is, because both sides of the aisle to me are useless as tits on a boar. Boy, that's an old Oklahoma adage. They're both useless. Since 2016, what have the Democrats done for you? What have they done? What have they done for you? Name one thing. You can't. They've bullied everybody around. They've did a fake narrative for Russian collusion. They did a fake attempt of impeachment based on a fake dossier bought by Hillary Clinton, knowing it was fake. The FBI was complicit with Hillary Clinton. Then we have this year the COVID-19 fiasco bullshit, all done by the Democrat Party wanting to push an agenda to make Trump look bad. Yeah, that worked, didn't it? Now the riots, pushed by Democrat supporters, liberal Democrat supporters. And Democrat mayors and governors won't do anything. Right now in Seattle, Washington, we're coming to a closing here. In Seattle, Washington, the rioters, took the courthouse in Seattle, Washington, and for 6 blocks around it, they have declared it a no police zone. Does this sound like people want to do good to you? Does it? All the black businesses that were burned, does it sound like BLM is wanting to help black people? No. Now, there's excuses by black people that, well, it was Antifa that was there. What were you doing running around with Antifa? What were you doing running around with them, doing what they do? What are you doing attacking police, throwing bottles of water and bricks at police, and beating up innocent people and burning down people's businesses, attacking police stations, burning police cars. What message are you people trying to get across? What message? What? I don't see you getting any message across other than the fact that you're pissing a lot of people off. You're not doing good. You're actually being criminals, and that's pushing a narrative that all black people are criminals. Well, we all know that's bullshit. But what are you showing? What message are you giving to people by doing all of this? This is not a way to do anything. Violence begets violence. And the violence I've been seeing right now is by protesters and the rioters in Democrat cities, which are mainly black, along with Antifa members who were paid to be there. And Facebook's a little thing of fact checking me. Go talk to the Atlanta PD. Out of 450 people, 50 were Antifa members who were bussed in and paid. So I'm beginning to wonder about BLM. A lot of the BLM, so-called BLM members, were they bussed in also? How much were they paid to incite riots? I don't like these organizations. I want to tell you why. These kinds of organizations, Antifa, BLM, neo-Nazis, KKK, they cater to the lowest common denominator. They cater to the people who won't think, who want to be a victim, have the victim's mentality. Yeah, the past 60 years, black people, yeah, you sat there and taken money from white people to be victims. And now you want to talk a bitch and moan about being victims. Quit being victims. Stand up and be somebody. Quit thinking that the world owes you, because the world don't owe anybody anything. Hell, the world doesn't owe me jack shit. I don't get jack shit. You think because I'm white I got all the money in the world? I think I have $33 to my name. I don't even know when I'm going to get more money. I don't have money. I don't have liquidable assets. I don't own a car. The house isn't in my name. I have nothing of any real value. So, quit running and thinking, well, you don't know what you're talking about. You're privileged. That's another thing. I want to ask, what is the privilege I supposedly have? I actually asked that to somebody one time. They said, well, you had a father who lived in the family. I didn't. Let me ask you a question. What's easier to have? No father or a father who abuses you daily? Which would you rather have? Nobody there? Or somebody who makes sure that your life is shit for 18 years? Yeah. Anyway, guys, this is a closing. I'm going to probably be gone for a couple of weeks. I need to recover from the idiocy that's been going on that I've been reading about. I'm ready to throw my hands in the air and say fuck it all and just drop World According to Graves altogether. I'm really thinking about that. If this is all the bullshit that's going to be, that I'm going to be reporting on, all the news that's going to be out there, the headlines, you know what? It's not worth it my time anymore. It's not worth it. So, if you guys think of a subject, whatever, let me know. I don't give a rat's ass what it is. But it better not be about the corruption in Washington, better not be about COVID-19, and it better not be about the riots. I can care less about these anymore. I said what I said. Everybody's out there talking about how white people are doing this, and we're doing this because we're mad at white people. White people had slaves. Do some research. Do some fucking research. Let's talk about slavery today, where it's at. Let's talk about slavery in Brazil, back in the 1800s. Let's talk about the slaves there, who today still, black people have no rights there. So, guys, look, I can keep going on for hours about this. I don't have the time or the willpower to do this. So, you guys take care of yourselves and start watching out for each other for once. Okay? Do that for me. I'm Marvin Graves. This has been The World According to Graves. I'll catch you when I catch you. Talk hard, folks. Love you all.